He writes for NBC Sports. He is the chief writer for Pro Basketball Talk at NBC Sports. He is Kurt Helin. Kurt, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Making me call Jackie. This is like brutal. Thanks.
Yeah. She's got a little bit more hair than you, a little bit more experience, and she's got
one more toe on her right foot. Hey, so
basketball player, all of it. Yeah.
Kurt, we're going to ask you right off the bat a question we've been asking each other, and we also just asked Jackie. 20 years from now, you look back on this draft, the 2015 NBA draft. Who are you going to think? Who do you think is going to be the best player from this draft?
I actually am going to go with Towns at #1. I really think because the NBA is, and you guys have seen this in Denver, over the years. The NBA is evolving towards that. I don't want to say small ball because you're going to still need guys to protect the rim, but you need guys who are athletic and quick and can run and not just a traditional back to the basket big. And Towns can be that guy. He can give you defense. He's got a mid-range shot. I think he can do all these things. I'll tell you the other guy that everybody's sleeping on, though, that I like. I think Justise Winslow is going to be a player, man. I think he is maybe a poor man's James Harden, but he can play, but he does play defense, so maybe not. But a guy with a versatile offensive game whose jump shot's going to be consistent. I like him, and I think he's going to fall a little bit.
Could end up here.
Yeah, Winslow, we've spent a lot of time talking about him, but I would ask you, following up on that, because he could go anywhere from 3 or 4 to 10 or 12, whatever. He's probably floating more than anybody other than Willie Cauley-Stein, I would think. But I have this opinion that North Carolina players come out of North Carolina and they become better pros. Duke players come out of Duke and they're not as good as they were under Coach K's system. Is that, do you think, an issue that he has to be shadowed by? Or if it's true?
Have you floated that one by Grant Hill?
Yeah, well, and Kyrie Irving.
There are always exceptions.
Okay, Grant Hill, that's 2. I
think that perception's out there, and I think it's legitimate. Some guys are products of the system. I'm not sure that he is. I think he's a guy whose game kind of, like I said, fits where the NBA is going. And Cauley-Stein, by the way, you said is floating. Floating, he's dropping like a rock, unfortunately. I don't know that he's going to fall much past out of the lottery, but teams are really concerned about that foot issue.
Yeah, that's it. Do you think we have seen so many rumors, and which is true usually, but one that came out a couple of days ago where there'd be 5 of the top 7 teams involved. Do you see that we're going to be shocked by the Lakers and what they do, or we're shocked by the Knicks and what they do? What is going to be, you think, the key to the entire draft? We kind of know what the first 2 are going to be, but we're not sure about the Lakers. They might slip Russell into that spot. How can you project what's going to go on in the early hours of this?
Look, I'm not sure I could possibly be shocked by anything Phil Jackson does at this point. Like, I'm not sure that there's an option out there I'd be like, wow, I didn't see that coming. I think, though, it really gets weirder, too. If the Russell thing is true, and I've been hearing Okafor out here in L.A. pretty strongly, if it really does go to Russell, if they've been playing and Mitch Kupchak's really good at playing his cards close to his vest. I mean, when he's dropped big trades like the Pau Gasol thing, they seem to just come out of right field. He may take Russell, and if that happens, it gets really interesting because there's a lot of teams that would love to get Okafor at 3, and the Celtics get mentioned, but I don't know if they have the pieces, but they're not the only team. Then it goes crazy. Then everybody's going to try to move up. The Sixers might try to move down. The Knicks are kind of standing there going, does anybody want our 4 pick? Because you can get Porzingis. And, it's just going to be nuts. And I don't know that there's anybody outside of the top couple or top 3 that aren't willing to move. Once you get to about 4, I'm not sure, including Denver, anybody wouldn't be willing to move the pick for the right circumstance.
He's Kurt Helin. He writes about pro basketball for NBC Sports, and that segment was sponsored by the Blake Street Tavern.
Hey, Kurt, I want to ask you a very serious question.
Okay.
When you look at Justise Winslow's defense, who is he? Is he a Jimmy Butler? Is he a Kawhi Leonard? Or who would you say?
Yeah, I don't want to. I think he has that kind of potential. He's physically strong and athletic, but I hate to put him on the level of those 2 guys who worked hard to develop those games over the last couple of years. He has the potential to be that guy, but I think, look, if the Knicks took him, he would walk in and be their best defender tomorrow. Like, he's better than anybody left on that roster. He is somebody who's going to come in as a good defender and could become a relatively locked down kind of guy, as much as anybody can be locked down in the NBA anymore. But when you can't touch a guy on the perimeter, but he can be that level of defender in the NBA.
I'm going to take you way out of bounds. Randall's coming back. He's like having a red shirt.
Yeah.
Rodder.
Julius Randle on the Lakers.
Yeah. Kevin Love has just opted out. Okafor will be there. There are some reports, or a report, that Dwayne Wade wouldn't mind finishing his career with Kobe Bryant.
LaMarcus Aldridge is a free agent.
If you put that group together we're talking about, are the Lakers back to where they have always been?
They're good. I don't know if, look, the Dwayne Wade thing, do the Lakers need another expensive two-guard who can't really play all his games and is on the back end of his career?
Well, but you can put both of them together. If you have both of them together, you get 82 games.
It's like a platoon. Yeah.
It's going to be like John Calipari's Kentucky team. We're just going to platoon them in at the two.
Yeah.
The Wade thing, the great thing is the Lakers with money just become the leverage. They're now like Los Angeles with the NFL. They're just going to get teams to build stadiums based on, well, we could take them to Los Angeles. That's how the Lakers are becoming in this thing. Everybody's using them every agent is using them as leverage now. Wade doesn't make a lot of sense. Love, look, that Love rumor is out there. And frankly, in Los Angeles, they love the Love Westbrook rumor. Like within the next couple of years, those two come back and reunite the UCLA team that couldn't quite win a title with those two, and do it with the Lakers and see if they can do it. Look, they become a really interesting. If they keep that pick and they take, frankly, Russell or Okafor, and they've got Randall and Jordan Clarkson turned out to be a player, suddenly you've got a nice little core that you can attract some free agents with. And Love is certainly a guy they're interested in. I'm not convinced he leaves Cleveland this year, but they're going to attract them guys. Aldridge is going to use them as leverage. Everybody is.
Kurt, is it important that the Lakers and the Knicks come back to prominence and come back to prominence quickly?
I don't really think so. I don't think it's bad for the. Or should we put this? I think it is good for the league. But what's always sold for the league more than just Lakers or Knicks or Celtics or market is stars. And you saw it this year. I mean, oh my gosh, it was San Francisco, which is a good-sized market, and Cleveland. They got the best ratings since the Jordan era because it was Steph Curry and LeBron James, the two most popular players in the NBA right now. As long as you're getting the stars to that level, the ratings will come. And I don't think the league needs the. It's not the same as I don't know, college football where you need. It's good when Alabama and Notre Dame and USC and so sure. are big. I don't know that you need that the same way.
Well, I think it's fun that your dog sort of represents the Lakers as a bark.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're enjoying him. Good.
He's a barking dog, like the Lakers are.
Right.
Well, more of the Lakers fan base, really. Yes.
Yeah, well played. Here's one for you. Opening night. What team is DeMarcus Cousins on?
Ooh, I like that question.
That's a really good question. I don't honestly. I'm still going to say the Kings because I got a feeling that at the end of the day, the owner is going to. Renadive is a huge cousin. He's the biggest Cousins backer in that organization. I can't believe he's going to move him for a coach. That said, I don't know if the Lakers can get it done. It'd be really interesting. Boston really would like to get in there, and they certainly have a ton of picks. Look, it's somebody who's going to have to give up a mountain of. I mean, you see what they're asking for from the Lakers. They were asking the number 2 Randall and Clarkson. Like basically everybody, anybody good. We'll take them.
Yeah.
It's going to take a mountain of picks to get him. Boston and some teams have some stuff out there, but I don't know. It's really hard to say. To me, I know a lot of teams will come calling. There's a lot of teams with assets. Denver should come calling, but I don't know that at the end of the day the owner signs off on this. I still think he's in Sacramento.
Kurt, we really appreciate your time. What's your Twitter handle?
You can find me at Basketball Talk, and thanks a lot for having me on, guys. And enjoy this. Like I tweeted about a little while ago, with this particular draft, there's like more smoke going on than a 1960s Vegas casino.
Yeah.
So have fun trying to sort through it.
A lot of lying, as always.
And nice deck you got there.
That's a nice deck.
Where are you sitting?
I'm out on the back porch of my the house. My house. My kids are home for the summer, so I can't be inside. They're terrorizing in there. Normally, I do it inside.
Go walk the dog, Kurt. Thanks, man.
Feed the dog.
Yeah. Kurt Helin.
Who let the dog out?
Kurt let the dog out.
That segment sponsored by the Blake Street Tavern. 3 bars under one roof, 18,000 square feet, and 60 HD TVs. I'm sure a bunch of them will be on the NBA draft tonight. You can find the Blake Street Tavern just a couple of blocks north of Coors Field at Blake and 23rd, 3 years in a row now. Voted Denver's best sports bar by Westward.